do kind of a hips focused class, or a little bit of lower back and glutes thrown in there, because the week before that we did a full kind of just front of the abs class. So today it's back to just kind of full 360. There's a little bit of everything involved. So hopefully by the end of this, maybe 12 to 15 minutes, you're going to feel loads happening around here. So to get that area ready, we're going to come lengthways along our mat and just do some cat-cows first. So as usual, feet are flat, knees underneath the hips, round the back, arch the back. Okay, one movement all the way to the other. Tuck the chin in, tuck the hips, then kick the tailbone back out behind as the head goes up. One or two more, just using as much of your range as you can. Good. Okay, stay in that position. One hand on the back of your head, elbow to elbow, and then a full twist all the way around. You just have a slight gap between your knees to keep yourself stable, but get this nice rotation to really open up the body, open up the hips, chest, abs, ribs, and then swap sides, opposite hand on the head, elbow to elbow, and a full twist all the way around. As much range as you can. One or two more, folks. Okay, and from there, just hinge back into child's pose. So, sitting back onto your calf muscles, two hands out in front, kind of walk them out by the fingers as long as you can. And get a bit of a stretch. Alright, so we're going to start on our backs. We're going to do leg raises with a tweak or a twist at the top. So let me just show you what's going to happen. You'll have your hands down. If you don't need them, you can have elbows down. Or if you don't need any help at all, hands can be on the chest. So pick the level that works for you. Feet come off the floor, all the way up. Once the tailbone leaves the floor, slight twist to one side, then bring it back down the middle, and repeat on the opposite side on the next rep. So it's practically a straight leg raise, but just as they get to the top, tweak it to one side, bring it back in the middle, and lower it down. Okay, give me 30 seconds of that, folks. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So nice and controlled. Wait till you feel that tailbone just leaving the floor. As soon as it does, you'll notice you can tweak the hips to one side. If you try to do it too soon, it doesn't really work. So the tailbone needs to be off the floor. And like I said before we got going, hands down would be a lot of help. Elbows down is less help. Hands on the chest is no help at all. So you'll really feel it with that. Nearly there. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Legs down. Let the abs have a bit of a break. From there, we're going straight into Spider-Man. So we're going to flip over into a front plank position, like so. Okay, where the knee is going to come up to the side of the body and back. Then do the opposite side. Okay, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds, let's do it. So, if we're talking about different levels of difficulty, easy would be doing it from your knees. You can still get the elbow or the knee up to the elbow. Okay, medium would be like so. You're in your full plank, going one left, one right. If you wanted to make that harder, do 2 or 3 on the same side and don't put the leg back down. That's it, folks. 5 seconds. Find a level that works for you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Shift that weight back. Give the abs a quick break. So we've got some tough exercises today. As much the exercise itself is tough, but then also the combinations of exercises will really fatigue your abs. So make sure you take the breaks when you have them. Alrighty, we're on our backs again. 30 seconds of leg raises with a tweak to the left, back down, and then to the right. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Legs come up, tweak to the side, back into the middle, lower them down. Now remember, you have different options with your arms. So if you haven't yet tried, see if you can go from hands to elbows. Or if you were doing elbows, see if you can go from elbows to hands on the chest. See what version you can make work for you, but make sure you've still got the tension here and here. So abs and obliques. You definitely don't want any pressure on the lower back. If that happens, go back to an easier version. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs down. Relax. Few deep breaths. While you're deep breathing, flip over. We'll go into our plank with our Spider-Man legs. So get set up. You have 3 different options from the knees. Full plank doing left and right, or full plank doing 2 or 3 on one side, 2 or 3 on the other. 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Into your plank. Whatever version you can do. Now, 2 weeks ago when we did this, we really tried to work on our breathing. Hopefully you've kind of solidified that as a bit of a habit. Okay, so when that knee comes up, should be breathing out. Empty the lungs. You'll get a much more effective contraction. And those abs will work much harder, and the obliques. 5 left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Shift that weight back. That's your first grouping done. You've done 2 exercises and you've done them twice. That's the structure for the class. We have 3 more of those. Okay, so we're going to be on our back for this next one. 2 exercises, one focusing on the upper portion of your abs, one focusing on the bottom portion and kind of into your hips a little bit. So we'll do the lower body one first. Hands are down, toes are pointed, and we're doing swimmer's kicks. Okay, very tough exercise. So there's loads of options here. I'm going to get you started and I'll talk through the options. You find the one that works for you. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. So, same as the previous exercise, hands are a big factor here. Hands down would be helpful. Elbows down is a little bit less helpful. Hands on the chest is very tough. Okay, so that can be one variable you can play with. The other is, if you really need to, you can be tapping the heels off the floor and you'll get this split second break of tension, okay, which is obviously helpful if you're really fatiguing. Nearly there. Find a version that works for you. 3, 2, and 1. Pull the legs up. You want the soles of your feet on the floor. Shorten the abs a little bit. 2 hands going just onto your thighs. Now the focus is on the upper abs. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, shoulders up off the floor, fingers just curve around the top of the knee and back down. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Deep breath in. Exhale. So we're trying to breathe out on every rep of every exercise where possible. Some exercises that's harder to do than others. But hopefully you've kind of got a list of the ones, even in your head, even if it's subconscious, the ones where the breathing really works and really helps. Usually if it's an exercise that can be done slow and controlled, it can be easily synced with your breathing. It's only the fast ones that are pretty hard. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Give those upper abdominals a break. Alrighty. Take a few seconds. Then those legs are going out nice and straight. Toes pointing away from you. We've got our swimmers with one of 3 hand positions. 1, 2, or 3. And you're either keeping both legs off the ground, or you could be kind of alternating, tapping the heel off the floor to make it easier. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, folks. Bit of tension through the hands or the elbows, if you do have them down. Now, this is an example of one of the exercises that's kind of hard to sync your breathing with. So maybe if you're doing the alternate ones, you could breathe out every time the leg comes up. But if you're doing just smooth kicks and you've gone for that harder option, just keep the air flowing in and out, okay? Don't overthink the breathing. Now take breaks if you need to, especially if that tension has gone to your lower back. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Brilliant work. Legs come up, soles of the feet are down, knees pointing to the ceiling. Less rest this time. We're going straight into our crunches. Just the upper back coming off the floor. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Exhale as those hands round the top of your knees. Pull the abs in nice and tight. Keep them locked in. Sync up your breathing, especially if your heart rate is starting to increase. Okay, breathing can help you keep that heart rate under control. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Maybe at this stage you're halfway through the class, so just pull the 2 knees up to the chest, switch off for a few seconds. Nice work. Okay, sitting right up onto your bum or your glutes, so your sit bones pretty much. Okay, you're going to be slightly tilted back. First exercise of this pairing. Heels are off the ground. We've done this before, and I want all 10 fingers to touch one side of you. Bring them around, touch the other side with the heels off the ground. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So it looks like this. Smooth twist, left to right. Your legs will naturally kind of shift in the opposite direction. That's perfectly fine. That's your body balancing itself. Okay, so keep it smooth. Keep whatever rhythm of breathing you can. We're just tapping those fingertips. There's no real weight going through the hands. If you're really struggling, rest the heels on the floor, but keep doing the twist. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Nice work. Flip over into a plank position. Now, you might not think it, the exercise we just did and this next exercise train the abs in a very similar way, diagonally inwards, okay? So we're going to go into a front plank on our elbows, like so. I want you to just tap a point on the floor out in front. We do it all the time because it's such a fantastic exercise. 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Into a plank, tapping the floor out in front. Not much weight going through that hand, but plenty of weight going through the other 3 limbs. If this is too much for you, try it from the knees, okay? So you're on the knees, you're still getting your taps, and you're just doing it like so. If it's easy to do the middle version, the medium version, if that's too easy for you, just slow it down, okay? Or leave the hand out there for a few seconds, and then bring it back. 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, shift back. Anytime we do a plank or bridge type position, just give yourself maybe a second or 2 in child's pose. Really helps take some of the pressure off the back. Alrighty, so flip back over onto your bum. We've got our V sit with those twists. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Heels are off the ground. Keep the 2 knees close together if you can. It's kind of a messy habit, but sometimes the knees like to flare out. By keeping them close together, you're actually going to switch on some of the muscles of the inside of the leg. So as a little pro tip, if you want, you could put a book or something without any weight in it, not too much weight anyway, and try to pinch your 2 knees together. Keep that item, whether it's a cushion, a book, magazine, something like that, and you'll really feel some additional muscles switching on. Nearly there, folks. Keep your twisting. 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, flip back over into our plank position. 2 taps out in front, 1 on each hand. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Sort your plank first, then start your taps. Keep that air flowing in and out. Now, a nice little shift left to right is fine. That's absolutely okay. What we don't want is a full twist through the axis of your body, the central axis, okay? So keep the rest of your body what I call square to the floor. So everything keeps the same distance from the floor, and you're just shimmying left and right because you need to find that new center of gravity. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Shift the weight back. Head down. A couple of deep breaths. 1 final exercise, okay? So you've done 3 blocks there. 3 blocks of 2 exercises, and you repeated them twice. We have 1 final exercise that we're going to do twice. It's quite a tough one. It takes a lot of control. So we're going to do it. We're going to give you a good 15 seconds recovery, and then we're going to go again, okay? So it stems from the position we've already done. You were in this position. We're going to go from that position all the way out to this position. Now you'll notice in this position my heels have stayed off the floor and I've kept my upper back off the floor. So you might see a curve like this in my back. That's okay given the circumstance of this exercise. We're trying to keep tension on the abs, and that's what the abs do. They keep you in flexion, okay? So all I've done is under control. I've gone from this position down into this position, and then we're going to do our best to come back up, okay? Now if it's not as smooth as I just did it, don't worry. It's kind of a skill as much as an exercise, so you'll kind of figure it out yourself. There might be a bit of a swing too. So we're going to go for 45 seconds. Do not feel compelled to keep going for that 45. Stop and take breaks as often as you like. 3, 2, 1. So you start nice and high in your V position. Open yourself up, nice and controlled. Heel and feet doesn't touch the floor. Shoulders don't touch the floor. Come back up with as little swing as possible. So you're going from a really open position to quite a closed position. Now, if I was not talking my way through this exercise, I would be breathing out on the way up. So that's what I'd be doing, and then inhaling as I open. Nearly there. For those of you who are still going with me, you have just under 15 seconds. Take breaks. Rest those legs if you need them. Especially if you're feeling that pressure somewhere you don't like or somewhere you feel like you shouldn't be. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to lie back and pull your 2 knees up to your chest. Whether you found it hard or easy, everyone's in this position. Deep breaths, let those abs completely switch off. We're going to go again in a few seconds, and this will be our final exercise. So we're going to try it for another 45. Like I said before, stop as often as you like. Keep that quality there, not the quantity. Okay, up into your V position. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So it's not about how many of these you get done. Even if you only get 4 or 5, I just want them to be really good quality no swing on the way up, and no drop on the way back down. So we're nice and smooth, coming up into that almost like a ball position. Keep going, folks. Really good work. We've about 15 seconds to go. Stop and break if you need to. Those lower abs and hips should really be working. Here we go. Try to get 2 more, folks. 2 more. It's getting hard for me to talk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Brilliant work. So up into your ball again. Or sorry, lie back into your ball. 2 knees up to the chest. That's the exercises done. We'll just do a super quick stretch to finish off. Whew. Worked up a sweat there. So hopefully you did too. Some really challenging exercises. So flip over. We'll just do 2 stretches. We'll start by lying completely flat. Kind of where your laces would be on your shoes. Just have that in contact with the floor, so the instep or the top of your foot. Hands in as if you're about to do a press up. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out as you push up. So hips are down close to the floor. Find your range. You can put in a little side to side twist here. You can swap the focus then to one hip to the other hip, one set of ribs to the other set of ribs. Shimmy back into child's pose one final time. And then maybe just come center. Okay, we'll do a couple of twists. Get some movement back into what we've probably just tightened up quite a bit. And shake it out. Well done, everyone. Awesome work. So that was just over 16 minutes of a workout. Hopefully you felt something. Hopefully it wasn't too easy, but if it was, you know what to do. Go back and repeat some of those exercises. Do them slower, do them more controlled, and hopefully you're still breathing really, really synced up with the exercises like we learned 2 weeks ago. Okay, so give Trinity Sport a tag on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll see you all again for a core session next week. Thanks, folks.